What's going on there, YouTube? Welcome to another reaction video from the Whole Last Show. Brought to you by Tom MacDonald in the Machine. I'm Left Cheek, aka Dustin.
I'm Right Cheek, aka Code.
And this man's laughing at me.
Just go.
Just go?
Yeah, man, let's just go.
I don't even know what you're laughing at right now. It's kind of startling.
Tom MacDonald, the Machine. Let's go.
Alright.
I am not Republican, I am not a liberal. Why the hell can't I just be American without getting political? The system gon' suppress us all, they don't care about the cost. How's this a democracy when we got communists in charge? Cancel culture Nazis, all they're missing is the swastikas. Honestly, this is a psychological holocaust. Pumping propaganda through the screen and straight into your brain. You ain't on a plantation, but you definitely still a slave. Race theory is indoctrinating children. Tell blacks they're disadvantaged, tell whites they got white privilege. What a brilliant way to reinforce division. If whites believe they have it easy, they will never help you fight the system. And now they burning books in untraditional ways. They just traded newspapers for the digital age. Now the facts can be deleted with no physical flames. They just change the information and the truth gets erased. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed us and all the media's fake. I swear the government hates us. Having opinions is dangerous. The system built to enslave us only works if we're afraid.
I gotta say, it's kind of ironic that I literally had a conversation and some similarities of what he just said. Literally last Thursday. Someone was talking to me and at you know where, and they're just, they're talking about someone that was sitting in the lobby that was on their phone the whole time, and they were complaining about like the news and, hey, oh, have you heard about this? Have you heard about that? And I hear them while I'm sitting in my office, and I get done taking care of some paperwork, and I get up and I walk in there, and then they come into me and they literally start asking me about it, like, oh, hey, how do you feel about this? How do you feel with that? And then my response was, well, how do you feel about nobody votes at all? They're like, oh, what do you mean by that? I was like, well, it's quite simple. I was like, it would just prove something to everybody in America. When none of us could vote and they would still put someone in office.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a silent dictatorship.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like, and for anybody else, like, apparently he's used to the way I talk. If nobody voted for anybody, they would still put someone in there that they wanted. And whether some people say Trump didn't lose that election or Trump did lose the election and Biden won that election, like, we don't really get too political here, because if we do, it would be a very long video. But it goes back in terms with, like, that was a statement that I made about, well, the newspapers and this, that, and the other, we don't really have them anymore. And they say, oh, well, you guys used to get the newspaper. Well, yeah, that was until they went digital.
Right.
And that's kind of ironic. So,
Yeah,
now you can delete it.
Yeah,
Like,
now your subscription is like, it's not a physical copy, it's a digital copy.
Yeah.
But another thing about that is, that's what I think about with the so-called Mandela effects. The Mandela effects are just little things that they change from like history, just so that to kind of they're working, like right now, like say, like for example, the Fruit of the Loom cornucopia, right? People our age remember that, right?
Yeah.
That there used to be a cornucopia on
was.
on the logo, right? Fruit of the Loom came out and said there was never a cornucopia, right? But it's like, dude, we have the actual like physical stuff that, because people started posting like, hey, this is my old shirt. I still have an old shirt and it has a cornucopia on it. But with that's what I think about like Mandela effects like that. Like they change like little things here and there as a test, right? As a tester to see what can they change to where people don't question it anymore.
Well, everything is a social experiment.
Yeah, but that's
everything.
Like that's what I mean about like physical copies, like books. They don't. I mean, there's books everywhere, but like
if you actual historic
books, like they kind of moved over to digital. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can own any book you want in digital, but it's gonna be like there's stuff that's gonna be changed that you don't know.
Yeah, but like it's funny that you say that because I don't know if I said it in a previous video before. Maybe maybe I haven't. Um, my son had just graduated. In his senior year, excuse me, his senior year, there was a reference that was on the TV while we were in the kitchen cooking, and I heard it and I said, "Yo," I said, "Do you even know who? Do you know who Anne Frank is?" No, sir. The hell you mean you don't know who that is?
Yeah.
I was like, Hitler? I've heard of him. Adolf Hitler? I've only heard of Hitler. I was like, well, Adolf Hitler is Hitler. And it's like, and then you start going through stuff like that. And then you start, like what he said with about reintroducing segregation and stuff like that, or separation. Yeah. It's insane because, I'm pretty sure if you ask your son about some of the stuff, if you haven't told him, they don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
And it's like with my son is in middle school right now.
Yeah, because there's stuff that we'll talk about, and I'm like, buddy, do you know about this? And he's like, no. I'm like, wait, so they haven't shown you any of this in school?
No.
I'm like, because he'll be confused. Like, he'll come up to me because he'll either see it on TV for whatever reason, or like on YouTube, it'll come up or something, and then he'll ask like, hey, what's this? And I'm like, wait, are you kidding me right now? Like, you don't know about this? Or like we'll have like a normal conversation and I'll bring a reference back and he's like, what's that? I'm like, what do you mean what's that?
Yeah, but
like,
it's because they're taking it out.
That? Yeah, so
it's
like
that's insane.
So yeah, I get that. I get that. Like, they are replacing everything physical with everything digital, and it's just so that they can manipulate it.
Yeah, but
and that's how I feel. That's how I feel about like Mandela effects. Like, I watch Mandela effect videos and stuff like that, and it's just like, dude, it's literally just they're just testing people, like testing people's memories and how they can manipulate and change that to kind of make you question, like, wait, was that like that before?
Yeah, like the Cosmic Brownies.
Yeah,
that's another one that drives me insane.
Or Shazam. Shazam was a movie.
Yeah,
Shazam was a movie with Sinbad.
Yeah.
And people only remember Kazam with Shaquille, which came out 2 years later. But they say that Shazam was never a thing. But we're not going to get into that.
Y'all crazy.
Watching Tom MacDonald, the machine.
Let's get back on track.
Yeah.
Save that for her.
Yeah.
Republican, I am not a liberal. Progressive and traditional are hitmen hired to kill the individual. They label people red or blue, divide us, they don't ever help. They want you thinking left or right, so you ain't thinking for yourself. Go ahead and vote, cause both the parties are the same side. Two teams, one coach, controlled by the same guys. Left wing, right wing, both help the same bird fly. Brainwashing everybody at the same time. The internet was once a place that we could get our facts from. Now it's been monopolized, it's Google or it's Amazon. Who fact checking the fact checkers? I can answer that one. The people who control the narratives through the platforms. Let me break this down for you, simple as I can, Kate. They use social conditioning to put you in the rat race. It doesn't matter if you're first or third or if you're last place. You're still a rat, and they're the cats who kill you so you can't escape.
That is true, because if you go search anything on Google, it will
redirect you.
Not only will it redirect you, but it will give you a redacted form of it.
And I'm just gonna say something for
you. If you try to look up like information on anything like on Google and stuff like that, it will like
sugarcoat it, hide it.
Yeah,
you gotta dig.
Yep.
Your best place search is pretty much Reddit.
Yep.
I forgot what I was gonna say. No, I remember now. Anybody who is ignorant enough, doesn't matter what part of the damn crayon box your color is. Anybody who says anybody who says that people are racist, do you mean they hate the human race, the animal race, or what? Because last I checked, if you're born in a country, you're American. If you're born in Honduras, you're Honduran, right? Puerto Rican, whatever. Why in the flying hell Do we need something? Why do I have to say I'm Native American? Why do you have to say you're Puerto Rican? Why does my wife have to say she's Mexican? Like, why did...
And I get that. It's because people still need their individuality.
It's ethnicity.
I know. But people still like to have their own individuality.
But that's cool. But at the end of the day,
I know.
Instead of...
But you're looking at it as, as hating a group of something else. You know what I mean? That you're not. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's... I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But
we are the human race.
Right. But, people still need their individuality, so that's why they say, oh, I'm such and such.
Yeah, but bro,
you know what I mean?
like, okay. You're looking at me and you right now. You got a mirror, you can see your individuality. You look different from everybody else.
Right.
That's your individuality.
Right.
I mean, wear what the hell you want to wear. Wear your hair the way you want to wear it. Do whatever.
Hey, only anime, baby.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, that and uniforms.
Hey, R.I.P. Toriyama.
Yeah. But y'all motherfuckers be tripping, though. Even the fans of Tom MacDonald be tripping. Even the fans of Adam be tripping. We be sitting here agreeing with the shit that they saying, and just because we don't like the way something sounded,
yeah.
Like, I mean, go do that damn Jungle Book yell somewhere else.
But another thing that he said, it's like left or right, blue or red. I mean, dude, I've said it for years. It's all the same. You can vote for whoever you like or you feel, you connect with, but it's all going to be the same. They're all going to, they're all looking out for themselves. They're not looking out for everybody else. They're just looking out for themselves. Like the amount of money that, like, for example, like the amount of money that candidates get for just running, right? From whether it's what's that called?
Donations?
Yeah, like donations or endorsements.
Endorsements. There we go. Endorsements.
Win or lose, guess what? They keep the money.
Yeah.
They get to keep the money. Where do they do that at? Where it's like, if you lose, sometimes some of them just run. Like, you can tell that they'll run and then they won't run again. Why? Because they made out like a bandit. They got their money. They got paid. Like they got paid to push out some other company's agenda, or some other party's agenda. They got paid. They got their money to be out in the public, public speaking setting and say what they needed to say in their behalf. They got paid, and then you never see them run again. Where do they do that at? Like,
America.
Where you got paid, yeah, where you get paid, like, have you ever gotten paid for not doing a job?
Hell no.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And if you do a shitty job, what do? You have to return the money. Why? Because you didn't, do the job that you were supposed to do.
Or give them something in its equivalent.
Right. But they don't do any of that.
Nope.
So it's like it doesn't really matter like who wins or loses. I mean, either way, you're kind of stuck because they're not helping you; they're helping each other. They're helping themselves. Like, I don't know, but let's just stay on Tom.
All right, Tom. Always bringing shit up.
Right.
They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed us and all the media's fake. I swear the government hates us. Having opinions is dangerous. The system built to enslave us only works if we're afraid. I am not Republican, I am not a liberal. I am just a man who knows they're scared of a nation that's thinking critical. They kill us or they lock us up for nothing like we're criminals. Divide us cause they know that unified we are invincible. Questioning the government's agenda is controversial, but promoting guns and liquor in our music is commercial. They're confusing us with pronouns they made up to make us triggered. You can call me what you want, but just don't call me late for dinner. School teaches you to learn and never teaches you to think. So you absorb misinformation, then you practice what they preach. You ain't free, can't you see that's how they want you to act? That's called conforming to the norm, you don't need freedom for that. I'm not Republican or liberal or left-wing or right-leaning. I took the red pills cause that's who's fighting for my freedoms. And you don't need to choose to be accepted, they both fake teams. Evil runs the world now like hell ain't got no vacancy. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed us and all the media
Well,
Yeah, I mean, he's right. I
he
mean,
is
for a Canadian.
for a Canadian.
He's right. You know, I mean, but I know people are like, oh, I don't know why he's so like pro America and like anti government. This, he's not even American. You know, he's Canadian. Sometimes it takes, you know, what do they say? The outside looking in.
Yep.
And he's vocal about it, you know, because he's on the outside looking in. You know, and obviously he's trying to integrate himself in.
Well, not that, but what's the problem with him being, or anybody, any person being supportive of where they live?
Right.
If you love it, if you love where you are, and you love where you live, and you love where you live represents,
and you know that it can be better,
why not support it?
right?
Like, so what? Like, you got some of these artists out here who
Like,
say that he capitalizes on, you know, all the shit that's going on. Well, at least he's saying something.
right,
Are you?
right.
No.
It's like you know, you go move to a new neighborhood, right, and you know that it's kind of like a little bit run down, or they're trying. So what do? You know, you start fixing up your place. You know, you make your yard look nice, just so that it looks nice, and people kind of like take notice, right, and they kind of follow the lead. You know, like, hey, maybe I should fix up my yard. You know, let me get that car out of there. You know, let me
go cut this grass.
Right. Let me go cut the grass. Let me go dump the car out in the back or get it towed out of here. You know what I mean? Let me, you know, let me clean it up. You know, let me paint that, you know, that railing that I've been meaning to paint for years now. Let me go, you know, hook
Pressure
that
wash
up.
his house.
Right. Let me
Like
pressure wash the
something.
siding, you know, the siding, and you know, let me do that. Why? Because somebody came in and they wanted to see it look better, so they tried. You know, they tried to make it look better, and they did. And it's almost like, you know, he's trying to, I don't know, like wake everybody up. And like on one hand, I kind of get where he's coming from, because sometimes, like, you know, like you feel like that. Sometimes sometimes I feel like that, where I'm the one that's like seeing everything for what it is, and everybody else is just like literally walking around like this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
are you not seeing this? They're like, seeing what? What are you talking about? Oh, that? Yeah, I see that, but they're not really looking. You know what I mean?
Because they just blinded
tough.
by the easiest option.
Right. So like it's tough. So I kind of I kind of understand like the frustration in some of his music, you know, where he's calling stuff out, but nobody's really like, everybody that's listening to him isn't being heard by anybody else.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we agree to some extent to some of the stuff that he says. Well, most of the stuff that he says, you know, like, especially when he's calling stuff out. But at the end of the day, like, when we go back to work, we see the truth for what it is, and everybody else is just kind of, oh god, they're just roaming around, you know, all zombied the fuck out, like, you know, like nothing, like there's nothing wrong.
But see, that's the crazy
You
thing,
know?
though, because some people get tired of hearing what he's saying. It's like what you just said, like, you know, oh, just see what. Well, the problem is my opinion. Pretty sure you're going to agree with it. Is in this day and age, we have too many followers and not enough leaders.
Right.
Or we got followers that are too afraid to become leaders,
Right.
because they're not going to be part of the it crew, or they're not a part of, you know, the cool crowd, because it's easier. Damn, I got indigestion. It's easier for them to just follow the crowd instead of standing out.
Right.
Like there could be 1,000 people in that 100,000 crowd that could feel the same way you do, but they're just as afraid to say something as well.
Right.
I mean, if people just grow the hell up and just learn to speak out and speak their mind and say how they feel, say how something is making you feel.
Well,
Don't retaliate.
Not just that. It's got to be in a constructive, positive way, though. Not just like, oh, you hurt my feelings. Just
Oh, no,
because
I don't
you want
mean
to
no
say
shit
that
like that. No,
you hurt someone's
no.
feelings when their feelings clearly aren't hurt. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying no shit like that.
It's about, you know, having a constructive and positive conversation of something that doesn't sit right.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Don't just sit there and just blindly go along with it.
Right, and that's tough. Like that's tough because you could sit there till you're blue in the face to say something, and everybody's just gonna look at you like, "Huh? What are you talking about? I don't see the same thing you're seeing. Where?"
Yeah, because they're too busy doing this, thumbing through some shit, as you call it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, y'all. It ain't the green thumb, it's the brown thumb. Brown thumb, the baby. Brown thumb.
All right, that's enough.
All right, y'all have a good one.
We'll see y'all next time.